Today, I am editing your photos, and honestly, I'm really excited. I've gone through all of them. Let's rewind here. I put up a few stories on my Instagram asking you guys to send me some of your raw files so that I can edit them on my computer. I received so many emails from you guys. You guys filled out my inbox, but half of the photos that you guys sent were JPEGs, and I asked for RAWs. And I know a lot of you guys aren't really sure what the difference is, so I'm just gonna explain it really quickly so that we can resolve this issue, and next time I don't get any JPEGs. So, raw files are uncompressed straight out of the camera. JPEGs are compressed. Raw files just give you a lot more flexibility over editing the photo. Does that make sense? Flexibility over editing the photo? It just allows you to be able to edit a lot more in that image because it's uncompressed, there's more data, and yeah, now you guys know. I'm also announcing a giveaway at the end of this video. So maybe last week we hit 10,000 subscribers. That is crazy. Thank you guys. Yeah, just stick around in this video. I'll be announcing the giveaway item later. We've got the first photo now loaded into Lightroom. We're doing a Lightroom editing thing today. And this one is by Louis De Jesus. I hope I said that right. Thank you, Louis, for sending that in, or Louis. I'm gonna edit your photo. First of all, right off the bat, we can go ahead and fix this crop here. Let's center that with the horizon, straighten that with the horizon. Maybe bring that up a little bit. We're just using our rule of thirds here, get the subjects on one of the intersections of that third thing, those lines. And let's go ahead, let's just go through my preset on this. Let's bring down the exposure right away. Shadows are already up. Can bring down the highlights maybe. And we can also maybe add a radial filter. Bring out the shadows here, maybe bring back up the exposure. And maybe it's looking a bit green. The road here looks a little bit green, so maybe we can just add in some purple tint. Bam, that looks really good to me, honestly. Maybe even bring down the temperature a little bit. If you wanted a cooler version, just bring down the temperature. That looks better to me, honestly. I like my blues. Maybe we can bring some clarity in. Like that. And then that sign is still orange. Originally that was yellow, so let's go ahead and fix that. Hue, yellow. Maybe we can make the greens more green. Yellow's more yellow. Bam, that's a sick edit. Louis or Louis, thank you for sending that in. Sick photo. And yeah, I like that edit. Moving on. Next photo here, this is by the white Wat. I don't know how to say this. I'll be throwing out the tags so you guys can see that. But this is our photo. Let's go ahead. Let's fix the crop here. This is a really cool photo, actually. Maybe this will be a cool black and white shot. I don't know. Let's try the preset. See what it looks like. Bring down the temperature. Maybe we can make this a nice blue edit. Like that. Let's bring down... I don't know. You see the subject here is like... Unless... The subject's like hidden by all the shadows behind him, or in front of him, I guess. So maybe we'll do a black and white edit here. Black and white with some blue in it. Black and white selenium tone. I like never use these. Anyways, let's see. So I guess none of these sliders are gonna work, okay? Just the light ones. Bring up the shadows, bring down the shadows. You know what we're gonna do? Create a radial filter over this. Bring up the exposure. Like that maybe. And then a little tip here, a little hack. Click the brush tool whilst you're still in that radial filter. Hold Alt, or maybe it's Options on a Mac, and you can just erase what you just selected within that radial filter. So it's really handy for stuff like this. And just erase that because we don't want him to be grainy. So we'll just erase the exposure we just gave it. Oh. You can see that coming back in there. Good enough, good enough. Okay. And then what, maybe a vignette? I don't know, maybe we can click those in. Let's drop a vignette in here. Right to the middle. Bam. Before, after, before, after. I think that's a really good black and white shot. I think it works well because that shadow is coming out to the camera as well. I'm just talking gibberish. Anyways, let's move on, move on. Next shot is also by the white hat, the white wat. And damn, this is a sick shot actually. First things first, let's go ahead, let's fix the crop. Bring that in. I'm gonna center that tram, I guess that's a tram, hey? Make that nice and centered. Maybe even make this a bit bigger. And I think I'm gonna edit this one without a preset, I think. So let's just do that. Let's go ahead right away, let's just drop some of the temperature, I can't talk. Right away, let's just drop some of the temperature down, bring some of those blue tones in. Can leave the tint slider for now. Let's bring up the shadows, introduce some contrast. Let's make a radial filter and just expose the tram a little bit more. Oops, maybe like this. Looking good. Let's add some clarity. I feel like this shot, because there's so much happening, there's all these poles, all the wires, the tram. I think we're gonna add a lot of clarity to this. I think it's a good clarity shot. Maybe 28 clarity. Maybe let's go down to the HSL and we can make these reds pop a little more, so we can make those reds a little more red. Orange, maybe bring it down too. Yellows. All this color at the bottom of the image here, like where it's orange right now and yellow now, we're gonna get rid of that. So we can just, you know what, let's just do it now. There's no real way to do this, no real way to edit. And half the time I'm just kinda going for it without really any idea what I'm doing. So yeah. Bring down the exposure, remove some of the saturation, and we can bring that all the way up. Like that, so we can add some clarity in here as well. And some contrast, maybe? Yes. And now again, because this graduated filter is affecting the tram, we're gonna go back to the brush tool, hold Alt or Options, I guess, if you're on Mac, and we can just erase over the tram here. Got it looking a lot better. A lot better. Maybe we can go ahead and, I always do this, I always do the lens corrections, because whenever you take a photo with a lens, there's some distortion, and then Lightroom just has it automatically detects what lens you use and it can fix that distortion, just like I did. So, bam, bam. We can go ahead and add some vignette into this as well. Heavy vignette, I think this is a sick shot actually, damn. Okay, next, I think, what else can we do here? We can play with the calibration tab. I use this in my preset. But honestly, I think I've edited everything decently enough. I think I like how I've done it. Let's see. That one can stay. Doesn't make a huge difference. That looks actually really sick. I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna send this into Photoshop. Edit in Photoshop. Wait for this to load up. I'm gonna add some motion blur around it so it looks like the tram is like actually coming towards the camera. And obviously it's pretty fake, but I think it's still a really cool effect. And I have done this before in some of my photos. So we're in now. And damn, this is a sick photo. What I'm gonna do straight away, duplicate this. And then we're gonna go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. And we can make this zoom, blur method zoom, quality, we always go for the best, always. And we'll keep it around 10. See what that looks like. So now you can tell there's lots of motion in the image. It actually did a really good job, it looks sick. But we don't want the tram to have this effect on it. So we're gonna go down, while selected on this top layer, click the Japanese flag, and then click on the brush tool. Make sure this is in black, and just paint away from the tram here. And bam, I think that's good. Click save. It'll automatically pop back up into Lightroom, and there's the before, there's the after. That photo's sick. Let's move on. Let's keep going. Okay, I'm gonna use a preset. I'm gonna use my preset here. And what can we do? It looks too bright. Maybe we can bring down the exposure. Like that. See how it's kind of like fuzzy over these lights? It doesn't look very crisp. That's because the clarity is all the way down, so we'll bring back some of that clarity, I guess. Maybe -2, whatever. And there's a few sensor marks here, so we'll have to get rid of those. Just bam. There's one there. There's one here. Maybe one there too. I'm not sure what that is, but it's distracting, so goodbye. That looks good. Let's warm this image up. Oh, that looks sick. Honestly, straight up, that looks dope. Before, after. Maybe a little bit too red in the orange, but it's good. Good job. Oh, damn. This photo's sick. What is that? Whoever took this photo has waited for the bus to come by and then taken a photo, but whatever you did a really good job. It turned out sick, so let's go ahead and edit this. Let's bring the crop right in. Hopefully there's a lot of detail and data in this image. Don't want to make it too blurry. Let's go ahead and apply the preset. It's really green right now. Let's actually cool this down. I want a nice cool edit here. Or maybe actually we can warm this up. And we can go down to the orange saturation, desaturate it maybe? Or we can go like this, create a radial filter, invert it, and just drop the color. That works for me. Bring up the shadows again maybe? No. We're gonna expose the center here too, because that's a little dark. Do it for all these. Like that. Let's go ahead and add a vignette to this one too. Like that. What else? Let's saturate the blues. There's a little bit of blue up here, so maybe we can saturate that. I hope you guys find this entertaining because this is how I edit. I just go through all the photos and just change settings until it looks good. And you guys seem to like it. This hat on this person's head is too orange. I want that to be red. So we can just bam. But now the plants are looking red, so we can just create. Let's zoom in here. We can create a mask over this hat. Bam. And we can go to the hue and just make that nice and red. Maybe it's a bit too saturated, like that maybe. And what else? Maybe the ground here is looking a little weird, so we can just drop the exposure there. I think that's I don't know, the best we might be able to get it. This, I think, has to be out like that. Yeah, it's pretty sick. What do you think? I think it's good. I think it's good enough to move on. Good enough to move on. Damn. This is Dubai, hey? The Burj Khalifa? This is a sick shot. This is a sick photo, damn. Anyways, let's crop this. Center it with the horizon, maybe something like that. Bada bang. Decent enough to me. Let's apply the I legit can't talk. Apply the preset, let's drop the temperature down. We're gonna make a nice moody blue edit. That looks good. Maybe we want more blue. Something like that. Highlights can come down for sure. A little bit more contrast. These oranges here, maybe we can make them red. So let's go to the orange slider, bring those down. Like that, maybe we can saturate the reds a little more. That looks nice, that looks nice. Maybe it's not quite center yet. A little more like that. Oh, maybe I messed it up. Let's add a vignette. I love a vignette. Let's do that. Midpoint. Yo, this is a sick shot actually. Luminance of the reds can come up. It looks a little weird down there. That's because of the vignette. Luminance, red, orange is 2. Okay, sick. I mean, before, after, before, after. Maybe we can make it a little more warm. Like that. Maybe we can also go like this. Just make it more blue. And then we can also maybe remove some of the clarity on these ones and make the Burj Khalifa nice and clarity crystal clear. Let's do that. Bam. Before, after, before, after. I think that looks pretty sick. It looks sick enough, so let's move on. All right, we got a nice city shot here, a nice moody, foggy city shot. This looks like England, my hometown. I am from England. Let's crop this in first of all. People look a little too small. Sure, let's go with it. Let's add the preset. I kind of like that. Kind of like that moody blue color. If we add in a little more purple here, more contrast too. Let's go ahead and bring up the exposure here. Maybe we can lower the clarity like that. We can add a vignette to this because I love vignettes. Yeah, I mean, what else? Before, after, before, after. It's a cool edit. I mean, if we try and bring up the temperature, what will that look like? It's just not as blue. I'm gonna wrap it up right there. The video's kind of dragging on a little bit, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everybody who submitted photos, even everybody who submitted JPEGs. I still really appreciate it. Let's talk giveaway. Let's talk about this giveaway. This right here is a TourBox. The TourBox company sent it to me, and Harry, what does it do? It sits on your desk. It is an editing tool. So all these buttons are customizable. You can decide what you want them to do in Lightroom and Premiere Pro, all of the Adobe products, and it just basically speeds up your workflow just so much. I've used it for the past week. Yeah, it's a game changer, to be honest. But yeah, I've got one, and then they sent me a second one for one of you guys. So all you have to do is go down to the comments, first of all, like the video, subscribe, go down into the comments, drop your Instagram name, and then tell me what got you into editing. Let's spice things up a little bit. What got you into editing and why? And why do you like it? Just say hi, whatever you want. But as long as you drop your Instagram name, you should be good. I will be picking a winner in 2 weeks randomly. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of the support. Let's hit 20K soon. Go subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.